Well, hey friends and neighbors, this is Chuck out at Sheraton Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. So it's the day after Christmas, and I had to get outside. I told Sandra if I stayed in the house much longer with all that Christmas candy that was left, that my Valentine's gift would have to be a bypass. So I came out. We're going to check on the piglets today. It's been a week since we picked up our new piglets from Worsham Springs Farm over in Bristol, Virginia. Tyler Leonard and his farm over there. So we're going to check in on those guys. Update on our piglet box that we showed in a couple of videos. Was able to utilize that. So we're going to talk a little bit about how that process went and why we don't have any video footage of it. And I've got some important questions, so stick around to the end. I need your input on some stuff. We've had a very interesting year here on YouTube, thinking about what's going to happen next year. And I've got some questions for y'all. So stick around with us, but first, let's check in on these piglets. Okay, so real quick, if you remember, we have two separate pens here. We have this pen on the right-hand side, which is all feeder pigs. These are guys that'll be fed out eventually for processing and for retail cuts. And then on the upper side, we have another pen. Let's walk up there. We have another pen. These are breeding stock. These are all gilts that we're going to keep for breeding, and also some of our uncut males are in here. Now, if you watch some of the other videos, you may notice there are some new piglets in each one of these pens, and you'd be absolutely right. The reason I'm doing this, the sun is just in a terrible position here. So these guys here are primarily, most of these piglets here are from Worsham Springs Farm over in Bristol, Virginia. Picked these guys up a week ago tomorrow, so they've been here today. It's their 7th day, and everybody is looking really, really good. Most of the pigs that we picked up are the black with a white stripe across their shoulder, the white pigs, or some of those little small brown pigs with the white shoulder. One of those that you can see kind of right there in the center of the screen. He's busy with something very important. He's got his face in a feed bowl. The new guys here are some of the weaned piglets from Big Mama and Little Mama from up on top of the hill. We'll talk a little bit about them in a minute, but we've got those guys in here with the rest of the feeder group. And so everybody here is doing really, really well. I think we've got 9 and 1, 2, 3, 5. So I think we've got 14 in this pen here. So everybody's getting trained on electric, getting fed up, and kind of learning their pecking order. So in a couple of weeks, these guys we're going to take this these hog panels down, and these guys will be able to go out and forage through the fields, and we'll put them on a free choice feeder, and they'll be able to just continue growing and doing all of their normal piggy stuff. But everybody here is looking really, really good. We're going to talk about them a little bit more here in just a second. In this pen, these are breeding stock. So these are all replacement gilts, or gilts that we're going to be using for breeding purposes, and then some uncut males. You'll notice there are a couple more in here than were in here earlier. We caught some of these from the sows that we have up on top of the hill, Big Mama and Little Mama. So we had Pumpkin Jack, Hamlet, Sammy, and then his little buddy. So that was 5, and then I think we added 4 more. So I think we're up to 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think we got 9 in here. So these guys are all looking good. Couple of small piglets again from the piglets that we bought. They're growing, coming along, looking nice. Everybody's doing good. So really pleased with this. Tickled to death with how everybody's doing. These guys here again are on a ration feed. They're at about 3 pounds per pig per day, so that's what we're feeding them. Water barrels. These are our pickle barrels with their nipple drinkers on them. Keeping those nice and full so everybody's got plenty of water. So yeah, this is working out just like we expected. These guys also, they're on single strand electric. Couple of weeks we'll let them out we'll just have them on single strand without the benefit of the hog panels, and they'll be able to get out and forage around and do all their normal stuff as well. So everybody's looking good. So this is our piglet box, and I'll overlay some footage on this setup in the field up top, so you can kind of see how this thing was arranged. So the other night, December 23rd, we came out and decided we were going to see if we could catch some piglets in our catch pen, and had to be patient. But at one time, we had all 11 of the piglets in that catch pen, and ended up 3 of them got out. But that's fine. So we caught 8, and we were able to get 8 up in the box, and luckily all of the males, we got all the males in the catch pen, got all the males up in the box. And so once we got them up in the box, we closed the door so that we had everybody kind of caught up in here, and we brought them down. Well, by the time we got done with all that, it was dark, and I had just finished filming another video, and we ran out of light, so I mean, it wasn't gonna be able to get any good footage. And so we decided just to let them sleep in the box overnight, put a bale of hay in here. They done great. They done fantastic. We came down the next morning to check on them. Everybody was snoozing and passed out. And so in order to put the males over, before we put the males over, we wanted to castrate those guys. And so Sandra and I jumped over in the box. We had David over in the pen. And so we were just able to catch those males up, castrate them right there in the box, and set them over. So it ended up working out really, really good. This box, we said this was the easiest catch and castrate and then put into a weaned pen that we had ever done. So going to make some improvements on this. The principle absolutely worked, and worked great. To get those piglets in that catch pen and then get them up in the box, I just took the tractor with the forks, slid up and under that thing, picked it up, and we just drove down the hill. It was really, really muddy, and Sandra said at one time I had the rear wheel of the tractor off the ground a little bit. Should have had a counterbalance on there. All I've got is just my trailer tower on there right now. Should have had a box blade or a mower or something. But anyway, we were able to get them down here safely, got everybody unloaded, and got them moved over into the catch pen the next morning. So again, that ended up being the easiest process that we've ever gone through to wean those piglets off, get them castrated, and moved over into a training pen. So as part of the castration, I was trying to see if we could see the back end of these males. We've done a couple of castration videos in the past, and when we were getting ready to do that on Christmas Eve morning, it was pouring the rain. It was cold, it was nasty, and we couldn't get any of the camera gear out to be able to capture any of that. But we did. Let's see if we can zoom in here on one of these guys. We were able to castrate them over in the box, and it worked out really good. Everybody here, if one of them would turn around there so we could see their hindquarters, everybody is healing up really nice. Everything's looking good. No signs of infection, no drainage. Activity is very, very normal. So the castration piece was a success. The reason that we castrate, and we get asked this question a lot, the reason that we castrate is these pigs here will be for retail sale, retail cut. And I know there's a lot of controversy, a lot of discussion about boar taint. Some people say they can taste it, other people say that they can't. Some people say if you castrate and then you feed them for a month, even after they're large, that you won't get the boar taint. Other folks say if you process before a certain age, you won't get boar taint. For us, it's too big of a gamble. It's too big of a risk. So it's just as easy to castrate these guys young, before we, or as we're weaning them off, as young as we can. That way we just don't run the risk of losing a bunch of meat and losing, a very valuable product. We've talked about what these pigs are worth as a market weight pig that's processed and ready to go for retail sale. So for us, taking that chance on losing that amount of meat and that amount of revenue, it's just easy to castrate them. I mean, for us, that's the smart thing to do. We've been castrating pigs now for a little over 2 years. We have never had a bad outcome. We do it the same way. They get a little bit of a betadine treatment over their scrotum. We take a scalpel or utility knife, make 2 incisions, pop the testicle out, spray them down with a little bit of blue coat, which is just an antiseptic that you can get at most of your feed stores, and then drop them over in the pen, and away they go. And it's interesting, a lot of times one of the first things they do is they rub their butt right through the mud, and we've never had any infection or any issue with post castration. So that's the process there. One thing that we did learn on these pigs is that we probably need to wean them a little bit earlier than we did. We typically have been buying pigs at 8 weeks old that have been weaned at 8 weeks old. So we weaned these that ended up being right at 9. We probably need to do that at 6 or 7. Some of these guys were, gosh, I know they were 70 pounds, 60 pounds. I mean, these were some chunky piglets. These guys are solid. They're dense. They're long, and they're very muscular. So, you know, the ones that we weaned off from our stock, much larger than a lot of pigs that we bought at the same age. So probably need to be paying attention to sizes and doing that weaning process a little bit earlier. All right, for those of you that farm, you know what all this is. This is the mess of the side-by-side at the end of the day. It seems like the bed of this thing ends up being the trash can whenever you go feed and do chores and that kind of stuff. But anyway, so what I want to talk about, and I've got a couple of questions I want to ask y'all, so hang with me for just a minute here, is a little bit about our journey here on YouTube and how 2021 has evolved. We had been real big YouTube fans up until the beginning of this year. We consumed a lot of content, watched a lot of different channels, and learned a lot about what you see us do here on our farm from other farmers and the content that they had put out. So I had done a few videos before the beginning of 2020, and if you go back, you search through all of our videos and you sort those by the oldest, you'll find 5 or 6 that are very raw. I mean, it's just some footage, maybe a little bit of me talking, no editing at all, and just put up on YouTube just because, no real purpose or goal behind it. So about this time last year, the end of 2019, I decided I want to get kind of serious about YouTube and started intently creating some content. And around the 1st of January, I posted my first video. I think the name of it is Chickens and Pigs. It's just some B-roll footage with a music overlay, just showing some animals on our farm. As of today, I think we've done about 140 some videos. At the beginning of 2020, I think we had 5 subscribers. So I set some goals, and this is kind of a testament to the power of goal setting. My goal was that by the end of 2020, I wanted to have 1,000 subscribers and have reached 4,000 watch hours. The reason those numbers are important is at that point, whenever you've got 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, YouTube will then start putting advertisements on your videos, and that generates a little bit of revenue for us. It's not a whole lot. I mean, it's minuscule for the amount of time that we put in, but it's a little bit of revenue. So I reached that goal around July the 25th. I hit 1,000 subscribers and it got the 4,000 watch hours just a couple days before that. So in the course of about 7.5, almost 8 months, I reached my goal of 1,000 subscribers. Well, since the end of July, 1st of August, we have seen a huge growth in this channel. As of today, we've got about 6,280 subscribers. Watch hours are at like 36,000 watch hours. Views, I think we've got a little over 385,000 views on this channel, which when you compare that to some of the bigger channels, Outdoors with Morgans, Arms Family Homestead, Red Tool House, Out of the Woods, you know, some of those guys, I mean, those are pretty minuscule. Those are just channels that we enjoy watching. Those are pretty small numbers, 385,000. But for us, you know, we're pretty proud of that. You know, to start from basically zero at the beginning of the year and to build this channel and to build the community that y'all are part of, it's unbelievable. And this really is a community. We've met so many nice folks. We've had so many folks that have commented, emailed, called, you know, just reached out to us in a number of different ways, and we can't thank y'all enough for that. So The channel is really about the viewers and the folks that tune in and watch our videos, and again, that's the most important part of this thing to us, is the interaction with y'all. So with that background in mind, I've got a couple of questions that I'd like for y'all to leave a comment on down below and tell me what your thoughts are and what you think. So last year I set that goal of 1,000 subscribers and exceeded that goal mid-year, and I wrote all this stuff down at the beginning of the year last year, so I had I'd written all this down. I think that's an important part of goal setting. But what do you think we can do in terms of numbers of subscribers and numbers of views by the end of 2021? I think 10,000 subscribers is absolutely obtainable, but what should that number be? What should be our goal? Is it 25,000? Is it 50,000? And what should our goal be on views? Is it 1 million, 1.5 million, 2 million? What do you think those goals should be for us to shoot for in 2021? And the reason I want your input on this is part of us achieving that goal is dependent upon y'all continuing to watch, continuing to tune in and share these videos with your friends, and help us achieve those goals. And to do that, in exchange, I need to know, what can we do to help you? Is there specific content that we can create and put out here for you? Is it farm and business? Is it more animal husbandry? We kind of run out of ideas from time to time, so we end up just kind of showing what our daily chores are, what our daily life's like, just more of a vlog style, and we'll continue to do some of that. But is there other stuff that you'd like to see? And then what can we improve on? I've had some feedback about the audio, so we've bought some equipment to try to improve our audio. Is it video quality? Is it content? What can we do to improve your experience whenever you come over and click to watch our videos? Because we appreciate y'all. We appreciate you spending your time with us and watching our videos, and we want to make this as valuable for you as we can. So those are the questions. Leave me a comment down below what you think about all that. Again, I can't respond to all comments, but I read everything, and I try my best to respond to all of them. But sometimes we get inundated with those. So, but anyway, I think this is running plenty long enough. I'm gonna post a link to a couple of other videos over here, other stuff we got going on. I'll post a link to that weaning pen, or that weaning box, so that you can see how that thing's set up and see how we manage that. If you've not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, follow along with us. We appreciate y'all watching. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks.